If you're trying to make a decision between the Bambu Lab A1 and P1S, by the end of this video, you're going to know which one belongs in your shop. Maybe you're a woodworker who wants to be able to quickly print jigs to help with your projects. Or maybe you run a CNC or laser shop and you want to quickly print out alignment templates, hold downs, and other accessories. Regardless of what type of maker you are, what type of shop you have, or your 3D printing goals, I have a good feeling by the end of this video, you're going to know which printer is right for you. There have never been more options for 3D printers on the market than there are right now. And while everything I'm going to discuss in this video is relevant to 3D printers across the board, I'm going to talk about two that come up a lot in discussions and I think are great options to choose from. And that is the Bambu Lab A1 and the Bambu Lab P1S. These are both proven machines with fantastic track records, but the right decision depends less on specs and more on the environment of your shop. If you're a maker that has a part-time or full-time making business and you're not looking to make occasional hobby prints or tinker with a printer, you're looking for reliability, repeatability, and you want to be able to insert this whole 3D printing thing right into your existing process, well then this video is for you. When we think about bringing a 3D printer into a maker shop, especially with the intent to directly or indirectly make money, we like to think about things differently. With a hobby machine, you might want the latest and greatest features. You might want the fastest thing on the market, but those things aren't important when you're using this machine as a tool to generate income. You want reliable, repeatable results because you're going to be setting up files per model one time, hopefully, and then getting the same results over and over again, which is going to allow you to spend more time developing new things and less time babysitting those 3D printers. Because if you're buying a robot to make things for you, you want it to work on its own with as little intervention as possible. When considering the reliability aspect of this whole equation, we need to think about things like running overnight prints and multi-day prints even. When I first started 3D printing years ago, it was not even advised to leave the room while the machines were running. But now, many people, print farms, and so forth do lots of overnight printing. This goes to show you how much reliability has come as a whole in the past couple of years. That being said, you still want to consider reliability when choosing your printer because not only is it a safety factor, in fact, in this day and age, it's less of a safety thing and more of a, are you going to come back to your printer a couple hours later and have just a ball of spaghetti and then you've wasted all that time and material with nothing to show for it. So having a printer or fleet of printers that can reliably produce the results you expect is important. One thing that comes to mind from my own workflow is I make vacuum hose clips to hang shop vac hoses and various hoses on the wall. And I often will leave and go do other things in the shop while those are being printed because they take 3 to 4 hours per batch. I would hate to come back after 3 hours and have all of those ruined because one of them came off the board and caused the catastrophe with the print. So that's why it is important if you're going to do any sort of repeatability or income generating prints to have something that you know you can trust to leave while you go do other things. Because when a print fails during a batch run, it's not only lost time and wasted money, it's lost productivity. When you're trying to build a maker business on your own, every bit of lost productivity stacks exponentially. Now that I'm done rambling about why it's so important to have reliable machines, let's talk about the two specific machines that we've come here to talk about today. Like I said before, both the A1 and the P1S are fantastic machines. The big difference between these two machines is material that you're going to be using and the environment that they're going to live in. So let's first talk about the A1. So the A1 is a traditional bed slinger style 3D printer. And what that means is the bed itself moves back and forth for the X-axis, and then the Y and Z axis are moving on the gantry. This is a traditional style 3D printer. The big difference here is since it's not enclosed, you are somewhat limited to the material that you're going to print with. In my shop, personally, the A1 is mostly used for PLA and PETG, and it does both of those materials fine. The only time that I may see issues is if I don't warm up my office beforehand, which can lead to some bed adhesion issues, which in this case is caused by the cold air causing the warm print to constrict and pull off the bed. The P1S, on the other hand, is a bit of a different animal. It's a Core XY printer, which means the print head is moving on the X and Y axis, and the Z axis is the entire bed, which moves, of course, in the Z direction up and down. Another thing you may want to consider between these two machines or even these two types of machines is the speed of the print. So, using this drawer as an example, with the A1, which is a traditional bed slinger style 3D printer, we're looking at about 4 hours and 52 minutes to complete this print. Where if we switch over to the Bambu Lab P1S, which is a Core XY machine, we're considerably faster at 3 hours and 33 minutes. So the reason for that is just the design of the Core XY allows it to accelerate faster between moves and while it's printing. Um, Again, results with the finished product are very similar, but you can see that we're shaving off nearly an hour and a half on this project alone. And when you're printing batches of parts or running your machine every day, that time savings adds up really quickly. Another big difference with the P1S and being a Core XY printer, and not all Core XY printers are this way, but the P1S is enclosed. And the benefit here with it being enclosed is it maintains a lot of the heat generated by the print bed and the tool head. And with warmer air comes the ability to print a bit more exotic, if you will, materials. When I say exotic materials, I'm talking about things like PVA, ASA, ABS, nylon, and so on. These are all very temperature sensitive materials and benefit from having an enclosed 3D printer. As I mentioned earlier, both of these are very capable printers, but the real question in a shop environment is how they behave when they're part of a daily production workflow. And to touch back on materials real quick, the A1 is most commonly used with PLA, PETG, and TPU materials. And the P1S is geared for those filaments as well as those higher temperature filaments I mentioned earlier. So the real question on material comes down to, is your product line or use case going to be primarily PLA and PETG with an occasional TPU use case? Or are you going to need to frequently use higher temperature materials like nylon, ASA, ABS? These are things you want to consider when choosing between these two machines when you're solely basing it on material alone. Because while you may be able to do some of these higher temp materials with an A1, the limiting factor is the fact that it's not enclosed. One especially important thing that I don't think a lot of people consider when adding a 3D printer to their maker business is the environment that the 3D printer is going to live in. So I think of two primary types of environments that most small scale maker shops are going to have. They're either going to have a clean, climate controlled space, and you can think of it like an office like I'm sitting in now, a basement, a studio, or a shop that doesn't have a lot of dust generating activities. Whereas a traditional workshop or garage shop that has maybe a CNC machine running in it or traditional woodworking tools, there's going to be a lot of dust. So this is something you need to take into consideration when you're choosing your 3D printer. So there's two main reasons why you want to consider what type of space your 3D printer is going in. And the first reason is temperature swing. So you can think of that as seasonal changes in the temperature, drafts, or just generally cold shops, especially during the cold seasons. And the reason that this is important for choosing your 3D printer is if you go with a open format bed slinger style 3D printer or even a Core XY 3D printer that doesn't have an enclosure, you run the risk of the cold temperatures, especially during the winter or cold months, causing bed adhesion issues. So a lot of times when you're 3D printing, this is especially noticeable on bigger, flatter prints. You'll notice that if the ambient air temperature is cooler significantly than the actual printer itself, you might get the corners of the print to start peeling up. And if you go with an enclosed printer like the P1S, this is much less likely to happen because the ambient air inside of the enclosure is much closer to the actual print temperature than the outside air. The other factor you want to consider when choosing a 3D printer is how dusty the environment is. In a office or studio or generally clean climate controlled workspace, you don't often have a lot of dust. But if your 3D printer is going to be in a workshop, garage shop, CNC shop, there's a lot more dust on a lot regular basis. And the reason that this is important is on an open style 3D printer like the A1, all of the moving parts, the belts, the ball screws, everything, the fans are all exposed and can accumulate dust over time, which can uh, decrease the life of the printer and cause performance issues. Whereas if you have a enclosed printer, all of the moving parts are inside the enclosure. Now that's not to say that there isn't way for dust to get in. It's not an airtight seal, but it is a lot less likely to build up substantial dust on an enclosed printer. So these are two things you want to consider when buying your 3D printer, especially if this is going to go into a dirty workshop. The bottom line is an enclosed 3D printer is going to protect the prints and the internals from a lot of that dust and temperature exposure. Now let's talk about maintenance and workflow. Both of these machines are extremely low maintenance and easy to take care of. The A1, I'd say maybe marginally easier to maintain because everything is easily accessible. But with that being said, nozzle swaps on both of these machines are very similar, quick and easy. And for the most part, you just need to keep your machine clean and keep the moving parts lubricated. I think the biggest thing in regard to maintenance and reliability, which either one of these machines is going to provide because they are very tried and true machines that have a track record of being consistent and reliable. Um, the biggest thing you want to think about when choosing any 3D printer is if this is generating money, you need to be able to rely on it and be able to get results consistently, which I believe both of these machines can do. It's just a matter of materials and environment, like I mentioned before. So that brings us to our decision framework for choosing one of these machines. In my opinion, the A1 is a great choice if you're working in a clean environment. You're mostly going to be working with PLA or PETG and do some occasional TPU prints. Um, if cost is a big factor for you, the A1 is $100 cheaper than the P1S. So that adds up, especially if you're getting multiple machines. And easy maintenance is a easy maintenance is a priority. Like I said, maintaining both of these machines is easy and low impact from my experience, but the A1 edges out slightly just because everything's a lot easier to access. On the other hand, if your work environment is consistently dirty and dusty, you expect that there are seasonal temperature swings or there's going to be breezes that roll through drafts. And you want to work with a broader range of materials that are designed for engineering, then without a doubt, the P1S is the way to go. And like I said, the enclosure is going to protect your print and the machine from the environment that it's living in.